I
And
guess
there are
that's where
okay.
sentience comes in, right? Where it's the I am, as being at least the ultimate perceived of level of consciousness that we're able to exhibit, right? Would be the I am, that level of of awareness.
Yeah, there's the self-awareness, the reflexive consciousness.
You're right, and um, that's something that I think falls in line with, let's say, artificial intelligence, where they're able to get robots and artificial intelligence to risk to I guess regurgitate information that's been fed to it, but it doesn't have that I am. It doesn't have that consciousness, that non-localized consciousness. It's whatever it's been programmed into that system or algorithm. Um, could we touch on that a little bit too?
Yeah, yeah. So the there's an important distinction with AI that an author named Yuval Noah Harari comes up with. Well, I don't know if he came up with it, but he publicized it and did a good job for making it known. I actually take him to task quite a bit in the book for other things,
I
but
mean,
that's
he's a
something.
really, yeah. I don't mean to cut you off. Not a big fan of that guy. I mean,
No,
just
that's fine. I'm throwing him a bone. He did something really good in this case of making a distinction that most people are missing. So on the one hand, you have intelligence. On
mm,
the other hand, you have consciousness. Those are two different things. So when people envision sort of the horror stories of Terminator, whatnot, or Ultron taking over, they're imagining artificial consciousness. Artificial intelligence is a different thing because intelligence is the um, the patterned output of data. You might, someone more adept might correct me on that slightly, but essentially, intelligence is a particular aspect of consciousness. It is not the same as consciousness itself. So, as we're designing AI, as you were saying, the AI is able to replicate a pattern that deals with expressing data or expressing particular, it doesn't have to be number data. It could be, they can make paintings out of input data. Um, but that's very different from there being a reflexive consciousness there that can reflect on what's being asked, reflect on what it's doing, and potentially change itself through creative conjecture, through imagination. And in philosophy, they talk about this as the problem of qualia. And what that word means,
quality.
qualia. Mhm. So what that word is talking about is trying to get at, if you see, let's say you see the color green, there's the color green, there's the chemical stuff going on in your brain to produce the color green, and then there's the sensation or the awareness of seeing green, that qualia of seeing green.
Quality. Okay.
And so that's referring to the fact that there's something there noticing and observing. And for the most part, if you pushed it, I think most AI people would have to admit, no, there's no qualia going on the AI side. There's a program pattern. And then part of the issue is some people just sort of dismiss the idea of qualia, and that's sort of the nihilism side, is they just say, well, there's nothing added. Like the green color in the chemical compounds and then your brain making the color green, that's the totality of everything. That includes the qualia. There's nothing added. The consciousness that you're talking about is just a subset of the chemical stuff going on versus people who have the intuition that like, no, there's something here noticing things.
Right.
Um, that so there's a disconnect between when people talk like that, and it can be hard to pass. But AI doesn't have that. AI can't creatively conjecture. It can't think about its own thinking and then rewrite it for itself like we can. So, does that answer your question?
Yes, that does perfectly.